Hi everyone, I'm your classmate Dane Woodruff. I chose the assignment Site Navigation Principles, in which I will attempt to share my research as a part of our assignment to teach one another. In the end, I hope we all come to a better understanding of the importance of the use of navigation in websites and gain important tips or principles necessary to help us in the design and function of our web pages. Let's begin. When you think of navigation, you think about driving to some unknown destination using your GPS to get you there. It's important to you to have a good GPS that's easy to use, accurate, and be able to understand it clearly. In a way, navigating the internet is just the same. Good navigating creates a wonderful experience for the user in which he or she will enjoy continuing surfing or navigating the site and will come back again and again. Isn't that the purpose of why you built a website in the first place? Businesses know that well-traveled and visited sites provide them visibility in business. They spend a ton of money on websites for users to keep looking and browsing in their sites that perhaps you may eye something that you perhaps bought or used that normally you would overlook as you scan through the internet. Those who make websites and professionals have come up with some principles that will help to keep users looking. I will attempt to name a few of them. Now, there's not one of these that I'm making that is more important than the other. I'm just listing them for ease of teaching. Here we go. A strong standout navigational system doesn't have to overtake your precious space, but it can do as well with contrast. The picture on the right's navigation stands out boldly, saying, "Come on, click me." In the picture on the left, the navigation bar blends in with the rest of the picture. It's sort of saying, "Don't bother me, I think I'm coming down with the cold." I believe these are navigational buttons for this particular website. People browse the web for ease and usability. Who wants to read a manual just to figure out how to use the navigational bar? Keep it simple, or you'll lose a user quickly. Who has time to think these days? Make sure that your navigation bar stays the same in design. An abrupt change in design may confuse the browser. He or she may even think they got transferred to another site. Being consistent tells them, hey, you're right where you should be. So be consistent. So remember, be consistent. Be consistent. I know that this is bugging us. That makes us want to be creative. Kind of like when your spouse, for those of you who are married, wants to try out a new dish to eat. The results are usually not in your favor. But some clever designs are great, but just be careful and don't tell my wife. The word salesman has become synonymous to the word runaway, and for the most part for good reason. So when words like services, products, or specials cross over the view of the users, it's an instant turnoff. Most of them think that, oh, you're about to sell me something, I'm getting out of here. In other words, use words that describe, like, we do family care. There's lots of links that could be added to your website, but it's best to be concise and stick to the most important links. Too many things can disperse attention away from the page you're intending them to see. I love it when I'm navigating on a site and my mouse hovers over a button and it does something. Like things like a word, like words come up telling you what it's about, or it'll shine. It makes me feel connected with the page. Even just making the text bold when you cross over it makes the difference. Put things of most importance first in the navigation, and the least important items in the middle. People's attention is highest for things that appear in the beginning and at the end. Well, don't look at me. I didn't come up with this. Some psychologists call this the, quote, serial position effect. It's based on some principle of primacy and recency, whatever that is. This one is obvious, but it still is good to mention. A good style, like good music, transcends you. When a site makes you feel like you are on a journey, now that's a good sign indeed. And there's no difference in the navigational bar. It just goes without saying. Although I like interaction, there's nothing more annoying than browsing around with some clicking or noise every time you move over something or click onto something, especially over and over again. Like this noise right now. There. Now this may seem subtle, but from personal experience, I've learned this to be a great turnoff for me. I hate having to dig forever for information I'm hunting. If it doesn't surface after like the fourth level of looking, I'm done. It has been recommended that we should be able to browse at least for 3 levels in, and that should be the limit. Well, you know the old saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Visual aids can sure make the browsing experience easier for the browser. One of my favorite places to browse is Google Images. That's where I usually find all the stuff I'm looking for. Never underestimate the power of the force. Or, in this case, the visual. Okay, here's a cool one. It's related to the interactive section, but this is more has to do with transitioning from one page to another, like fading or rotating out, or some kind of effect as you change one page to another. As long as it's not too slow or distracting, it makes a great ambiance. Researchers have found when navigational bars stay in place as you go down and not scroll up, they feel that it is faster and easier to use. Now you can get one of these codes to make the navigational bar stay in place by going to www.smashingmagazine.com, which is a good website, by the way. And of course, like straight out of Brother Odom's mouth, make sure your navigation is able to steer from one media to another. Oh, I hope I don't lose points for saying that. But anyhow, do this that you keep the same feel as you go from one media to another. And last but not least, ask people to test out your navigational work. Use this opportunity to learn and improve from it. Get other eyes to see something that you may have otherwise overlooked. Well, that concludes my presentation on site navigation principles. I hope we gained some good info that will help guide us on our journey in making good navigational decisions on our website designs so that we can keep them looking. My thanks goes to swimby.com, swimbi.com, for most of my material. I'll be looking forward to your comments in the following days. Until then, have a good day.